So are you going to unveil one at a time?
Yes.
Yes.
I will unveil them. All right.
Unveil them!
Hey everybody, welcome to Bourbon and Branding. My name's Jason.
Hey.
This is Dave, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Dave is actually going to be doing a blind taste test, but since this is Bourbon and Branding, Dave is going to talk about the labels, the branding, and then try to determine which he thinks is the most expensive based on the presentation of each of these.
Or how effective is the presentation?
There you go. How effective? Would you pick it off the shelf? Would you think it's worth the price? So all of these are Bottled-in-Bond. You'll probably recognize all of these. So 3 of them are under $25. One of them is under $20. And one of them is $50. So one is almost 3 times the cost of the other one.
At least you didn't go like the $9.99 route for me.
I didn't go the cheapest, but for Bottled-in-Bond, so for those of you who don't know, Bottled-in-Bond has to be 100 proof, at least 4 years old, and one distiller. So it can't be like a blended bourbon or blended whiskey. So I tried to keep all of that the same, but yeah, the prices go from about under $20 to $50. So, all right, without further ado, you ready, Dave?
I'm ready.
All right, so bottle number 1. So actually, before we do that, we're going to reveal them. He's going to talk about them, and then you're going to sample them, but you don't know what order. They won't be in this order. And then you'll try to put them in front of each one that you think.
Wait.
So based on taste, you're going to try to figure out where they go.
Oh, so you're not making it that easy on me then.
No, yeah, and that's why you're doing it.
Oh.
I did this at home because we couldn't figure out a way to do for both of us to do this because somebody's got to know what's what. So I did it at home, and so it'd be really curious, or I'm really curious to see if you pick the same one as I do, or you go a totally different route. But all right, bottle numero uno. So this is early times. Here you can.
Early times.
All right, I'll give you some facts about early times.
Okay.
So it's Kentucky straight bourbon. It doesn't have an age statement, but it has to be at least 4 years old.
Okay.
The mash bill is 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malt. And it's the Sazerac company is the distiller. So that probably doesn't help you at all, but
Isn't that the first cocktail? Isn't it absinthe and whiskey? Isn't that?
Is it Sazerac?
Is it? I don't know.
They'll correct us.
Yeah, they'll correct. You guys will correct us
in the comments. So,
though I do like this color. This is like this would be in great cabinets.
You have been talking about painting your cabinets. Is you going to take the cap home and show your wife?
These would make wonderful cabinets.
All right.
Okay.
Bottle number 2.
Old Granddad.
Old Granddad, Bottled-in-Bond.
Okay, so I've had Old Granddad, but I haven't had this one.
Yeah, you've had Old Granddad 114.
Okay.
So, yeah, here.
Can I take a look at this guy?
Take a look. So Old Granddad, Bottled-in-Bond. It's a Jim Beam product. Kentucky straight bourbon. 63% corn, 27% rye. So pretty high rye. And 10% malted barley. Yeah, that's all you get at this point in the game. So I am not a fan of the orange. I know that you're the one that's kind of rating, but the orange and green do not do it for me.
I don't think I'm a fan of the way they broke up their center alignment on this type. On the back in the description, why is of on this line right here? It should be up one line. And this is...
Well, when you learn what the price is,
well, this is scooted over. Like it's like you're like 1 or 2 pixels closer on this side of the frame than the other one. This is This is
the pixel alignment nobody notices but you. But
this is throwing my eyes, man. This is no good.
all right, let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on. All right. Bottle number 3. Evan Williams, Bottled in Bond. So Evan Williams is actually a Heaven Hill product.
Okay.
We've done other Heaven Hill products, and actually most of them are pretty good. So Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malt. Obviously 100 proof. What are your initial thoughts?
I like this, the logo type, the way they did the word mark on the script on the glass. That's kind of cool. And then the paper, I'm feeling all the papers because I naturally, as soon as you feel like differentiation in the paper, like if you're going to use something matte and then you've got an embossed feeling, like or you've done some sort of UV treating or something, it's like somebody spent some money on their packaging.
All right, and last but not least, we have George Dickel, Bottled in Bond.
George Dickel.
So this is a Tennessee whiskey.
GD.
So Tennessee whiskey is finished a little bit differently. 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% malted barley.
I dig the
like the fluted
glass. That's awesome. And this the detail with the torn paper on this is pretty cool. Finest quality, ain't nothing better sippin'.
All right.
Okay.
So, what do you think right out of the gate? Which one are you just gut feeling? Which one do you gravitate to?
It's interesting. The two that I'm most drawn to, and I'm hesitant to say this, I always tell people that's such a yucky word. Don't use the word like unless you substantiate it. These two are the two that I'm most drawn to. Is it the blue? Is it the way that, you know what I mean? The washes of blue on there, maybe. But I want to feel these two for a second here. I do kind of dig this this kind of slanted typography that they've got going on.
Yeah, doesn't how the presentation of the words early times matches the actual words early times. It feels vintage in the presentation and the font selection and all that stuff.
I also appreciate the fact that the type is so nice and big on this, because if I was looking and I was like, I'm an Early Times fan, I love Early Times, and I walked into the store, I would immediately see this.
Yeah, you can find it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any trouble for me to find it. It tells me exactly what it is on there. I love kind of the gold foiling or the copper foiling feel that it has happening on there, and some of these filigree elements are kind of cool. They kind of go with the typography. So I dig this one. The downside about this one is the screw cap. That kind of told me that it's probably not as expensive. Now, I don't necessarily know if there's any better seal or worse seal with the screw cap, but there's just something in the packaging element that tells me that your brand, it's that
that sound, the crack.
If you walk into a party and you crack that, it's probably maybe a high school party.
Right.
So
this one you pour behind the scenes if you really like it.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is these two maybe were maybe this one was yo, I dig your packaging over here and I want to be like you, but I couldn't quite swing this sleek sleek cap that you have going on here. So we're gonna do everything else. We're gonna turn that type sideways, and we're gonna minimize it. It's gonna
this
look
one
really
tried
good.
really hard.
It's gonna tried really hard to mimic this. I think this one though, I can immediately tell the paper quality is better. It feels better. I think this attention to detail with the die cut that probably had to happen here with the edging here. It's got a lot of the same effect, and it still has some of the embossing and coating on there.
All right, so if you had to guess which is the most, so 3 of these are under $25. One of them is $50.
50? I'm gonna guess.
And then, which one do you think is the cheapest? One of them is under 20, and they're both
The plastic on this is
plastic top.
that doesn't tell me that you cost a lot.
Kind of good, right?
Listen, Evan Williams, really nice job on your glass there. And I don't know. I mean, I honestly have never looked for these. Nice job on your glass there, but very, very thoughtless with the packaging there. And if you're gonna go like white, like you could have maybe black would have. I know it matches the bottle,
top,
but it just it just feels like a medicine. It feels medicinal.
That's true.
Cheap.
Yeah.
It's like I've got to make my hot toddy, and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make my hot toddy with Evan Williams. There's some cool things happening with the glass on here for sure. This the same as that other bottle. If you're gonna do center aligned text, I feel like you got to be really careful when you start getting really weird, like rivers and gaps in your center aligned text. The old Granddad was the biggest violator. This one's not quite as bad because I guess maybe they have like some sort of rhythm going on with this. But the old Granddad here, I would venture to say
it's totally synthetic.
that's not real. Okay.
I think this one, I don't know if this one's real either. No, this is synthetic as well.
Okay.
But
I don't know if it's the cheapest, but guys, I think
just spend a few more minutes.
I think we could have spent a few more minutes fixing up our typography on the back here.
All right, so you're going so we can, because you're not going to drink them in this order, obviously.
No.
So let's put them most expensive to least expensive. So this one you said most expensive.
Most expensive.
And then you said this one least expensive. And then where are you going to put these ones?
Then this guy maybe.
Okay.
I just feel like the old Granddad, like if it's between the screw top with the awesome, kind of tint of blue that you have going here. Then this one, then this one.
Okay, right here. So this is the order.
No.
Oh,
no,
old Granddad.
No. I think you're right. I think
right there. So most expensive, least expensive.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Let's taste them.
Well, are you gonna tell me what the?
Okay.
Well, actually, you shouldn't though.
No, I'm not. Yeah. This is your first, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna taste it, and then you're gonna put it in front of the one that you think it is. Going right for the Evan Williams.
I don't like that. Whatever that was. That tastes like
what didn't you like?
It tastes like alcohol.
Yeah.
Just like alcohol.
It like was on like your first palate or like the whole thing?
The whole thing, it just tasted like alcohol to me. It didn't taste. I personally didn't get a lot of the flavor notes in it.
Okay. All right.
But that just might be me. I feel bad because somebody up here watching our show is probably gonna be like, I love old Granddad, and I don't care that the type is off.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
All right. Well, let's move on. Number 2 here.
That's better.
A pretty dramatic shift. You have 3 to choose from, though, so. And you can switch if you think, once you try the other ones. I'll let you swap. You don't have to lock in your vote right now.
You know what's funny? I thought with the clear bottles I was going to be able to tell with the color in like sheet.
Yeah.
But you can't.
No.
In this room, you can't even tell. It all looks the same.
Now you didn't notice this on one of the bottles, and I'm not going to let you re-look at the bottles, but one of these is 13 years old.
Oh.
Don't look at the bottles though. You don't get to look again. Okay?
For now.
All right.
That's really nice.
Number 3. Okay, away.
That's real nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's really smooth.
Okay.
And it has a complexity, a lot more. It tastes more complex to me. You're gonna laugh if I'm a cheap date.
No, I won't actually. I'll be very happy. All right, last one. Okay. There you go, sir.
I don't care for that. I don't know.
I'll do this on the next one, so he'll get to punish me with his choice. But knowing what these are, it's pretty hilarious.
I'm gonna purposely pick drinks ones you don't like.
What are you thinking? So that one you really didn't like, so you're gonna give that a second shot.
I think this is my order. I don't like that. I do not like that.
That face was worth it. Okay, so this is the order. Do you want to try those two again? You were kind of, or are you good? You locking in your vote here.
Boy, this has a nice vanilla nose. I can really smell some vanilla on here. You want to smell it?
I'm good. I know.
That's good. Hot dang, these are both really good.
All right. Final answer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Evan Williams. Correct.
Yes!
$17.99.
And I would never buy that. Ever.
All right. Old Granddad. Correct.
Yes!
Nice. That one was 24.95. Okay. And then you moved these ones around, so I don't know. Let me look.
I was totally back and
Okay.
forth on these guys. Because this one I really liked parts of it, and I liked these two.
So the winner is Early Time. That guy. Yep.
Wow.
So this is the order of the...
Wow.
Yep. What's funny is I did the blind, and Early Times won as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and Evan Williams was a long way away.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was
right, and don't get me wrong, these are both really...
So this one is 13 years, so it says it on the side.
I didn't even notice it. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't notice.
So these ones have to be at least 4 years because they're bottled in bond, and that's a 13-year-old, and it's $50. So, you put it pretty high. So there was it was very distinguishable from here to here. So...
I think both of these are
Early Times?
Easy drinkers, though. I would drink both of these.
Early Times, $22.
That's a value.
Yeah.
That's an absolute value. If you have not bought Early Times, the cousin of
The capped cousin.
the capped bandit of George Dickel, then you should go buy it.
Yeah.
So
I think what we showed though today is that presentation matters, but presentation matched in this case taste. I mean, right here you were pretty close.
What am I on with the prices?
The only one that you had, the prices were like this.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this one's $25. This is $22. So you had
very close.
Yeah, this one was the most
Listen, old
expensive.
granddad. They need to up their
up their game.
And I mean, you know, I think that this
It's a $25
Well, I
bottle,
think this
so.
is a really smart move. What they've done is they've packaged themselves in a way to kind of present a less pricey product in a way that people
And I have heard
wanna buy
that
it.
the Early Times in some states is actually pretty hard to get. I've seen it at just about every one of our liquor stores. It's kind of a hidden gem. So if you're in Oregon and you haven't had Early Times for $22, it's probably worth.
And go paint your cabinets.
Yeah, there you go. Convince your wife to
This
paint.
awesome blue.
All right, well there you go, guys. Dave successfully made it through the gamut of these Bottled-in-Bond whiskeys and did pretty good on the picks. But thank you guys for joining us. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
See ya.